Everybody, this is Hero of Time 91, and yes, it's been a while since I uploaded a video, and so today's video isn't going to be really like a Zelda theory, in a traditional sense. It's just going to be going over some things I've been seeing in the community and what I've seen in reviews. And one thing that I've been noticing, that's been going for a while, but I mean especially as of late that I've noticed, is a lot of hate that Skyward Sword gets in the Zelda game. I mean, I've never seen a Zelda game that's getting so much hate. You know, I mean, and the thing is, yes, of course it's not perfect. We've gone over it before, you know. If not, newsflash, there's no such thing as a perfect game. Every game has flaws. Even Ocarina of Time has flaws, and that's objective. Like if you see my other video, if not, I recommend you go check it on is Ocarina of Time a masterpiece or not. You go in the video, I talked about why I think it's objectively a great game. And the point is, what I've been seeing a lot of the videos is Skyward Sword's hate seems to be mostly based upon preference. People have different preferences for games, and that's fine. If we all like the same kind of games would be boring. Okay, I guess that's why the marketing has been making lots of first-person shooters and is still churning out tons of first-person shooters. And that's kind of making the gaming community boring, and that's why we're getting less RPGs, we're getting less platformers, and lots of other things. But with Ocarina of Time, with Skyward Sword, is, like I said, it's preferences. People have different preferences. People have different feelings and emotions about what they like and what they don't like. And like I said, emotions, another thing, emotions are good. Without emotions, obviously, we would be robots. We'd be a computer, we'd analyze, we'd compute. There would be no variability. Emotions is what helps make us human. And with this, we need to learn to when we review games and we critique them, we need to use an objective standard. Objective meaning things that everyone can agree with. Okay, everyone agree with from a design perspective in making something. If we make a car and the car breaks down frequently over using the wheels just break down and the axles always spin out and break, that would be bad. That'd be objectively bad car design. You may like a different entry car, you may like a red car, a blue car, you may want a truck, a four-wheeler, SUV, a sports car, a coupe. You know, you may like those things, and that's perfectly fine, but we look at the car perspective. Same thing with the video game perspective. If I'm looking at Skyward Sword, it's not perfect. Of course not. Problem is, I mean, I love it, it's a good game. The feed talks too much, that's one of the issues that's objective. And they're not skippable. Particularly with her reminding you that your Wii batteries are low. And it's like, I already have the icon on the game in the HUD that lets me know it's low. I don't need you also telling me my Wii batteries are low. I'm trying to get as most juice out of them as possible. You know, and if it does stop, guess what? The Wii will pause the game and let me know that the batteries are out. So, that's just one of them. And my next other thing I've noticed off the Skyward Sword thing, like I said, this isn't really a theory and stuff. I'll make a Skyward Sword video later. They'll objectively put it. But to conclude the objectivity in finding it, we need to learn, number one, in game design today, we need to make tutorials skippable. The best example is Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi. Those are some of the greatest examples I can know of that will allow tutorials to be skippable. Like whenever you start a battle, they'll ask you, hey Mario, would you like to go over the basics of battle? It's been a while. You can say yes or no. You say yes, I want to go over them. And it says, okay, here you go. Then if you do no, like, oh, they'll say something really kind of complimentary, like, oh, well, okay, Mario, I forgot you're a superstar, you know, that's great, and you go into the battle as normal. And that's what happens. That's what game designs need today. If they want to pat out, they want to handhold you, make it optional. Say, do you want this or this? Nintendo did really well with Super Mario Galaxy 2 when they made little intro not videos, but you go into a level and there's a sign, there's a billboard or whatever, and you can talk to him and he'll show you what to do. And that's good. I mean, and Zelda started to do that with Skyward Sword, where they had the little gossip stone that would show stuff like that in case you missed things. And they even implemented that also in Ocarina of Time 3D. Those are good. Another thing in video game objective game design is they need to make it where cutscenes are skippable. And thankfully they're starting to do that more. Twilight Princess was actually the first one to do that in the Zelda series that I know of, which was cool. That's another objective thing. You need to do this because we don't want to see the same cutscene over and over. And you make it optional. If I don't want to see it, I shouldn't have to see it. Unless it's obviously like the first time the game's being booted up or something. But still, that option is good to have nonetheless. You also need to make tutorials skippable because, yes, there may be people who are new to video games, but it's still good to make it skippable in case we don't want to know it. Maybe we want to learn on the fly. That's what makes it good. So, I mean, there's much more, and I'll go over more on the list, but, I mean, if we're making an objective review of the game, we need to keep the feelings and the emotions and what the preference, we need to keep those out. We need to make it solely on game design, like story. We can rightfully criticize the story if it didn't flesh out a character more, if it didn't make sense. And Twilight Princess's story really doesn't make much sense. It leaves a lot of confusions and questions. It's okay to have theories available, but when the core design of the gameplay or the story isn't there, and you don't, as a player, even through multiple playthroughs, you don't know what's going on, and you have to have a Historia book to explain it and make sense of the story, that's really bad storytelling. Those are objective things. Not, oh my gosh, the Wii remote doesn't work, oh my goodness. Well, you didn't set it up properly, you know? I mean, Wii Motion Plus was good. You may not like it, but once again, that's a preference. You could say, well, for better game design, make it optional where I don't have to use motion. Well, the game was built with that in hand. It was made that way. Alright, now if they made multiple options, okay, I mean, if they made a game where it included Wii Motion Plus and the classic controller, but someone's like, I just want to use the remote and nunchuck, but without all the Motion Plus, then yes, that's a valid argument. But that's the main thing. Lastly is this, and like I said, I'm not hating or anything, but I've noticed like game theory has definitely been going on the decline, especially with some of their Zelda stuff. He recently made a video not too many weeks back about rupees and what they're about. Like how much are they really worth in real world value and stuff like this. And the first part I notice is he goes in there and says, and goes to the Zelda 1 manual and says that in there they're called rubies. Well, he doesn't go into the whole detail of his video talking about the origin of the reason why they're called rubies. There was it was a localization error, and even PBG in the video, his collaborator, mentions this, but he sweeps it under the rug. The real reason they're called rupees is because in Germany, in the German games, the rupees, even still today, they're using a German word that's close to rubies. And this is what you do with game theories. I mean, I respect him. He got me into theorizing and looking in games more in depth and giving them a second look and critically analyzing them objectively. But the problem that he was doing, it's also with his hookshot video and stuff like this, is the Zelda series is a mythical world. It does not have to use all the physics of our world. And what he's doing is, and it's not just the Zelda series, it's with other stuff as well, is when you make game theories, you need to use the lore and physics and stuff of that world if at all possible. And unfortunately with Zelda, we don't know what rupees are made of. They don't show us in the game. There's no game developer quotes about them or anything to help give us in the right direction. There's no clues. If we went to a game in Zelda where there was like a rupee mine, and we see something, that would be kind of cool. We can kind of base it off of it. But what he does is he starts saying, well, there really are rupees. And he goes over the science of the material rupees are made out of, I mean rubies in the real world, and how we can color them and everything. And he's saying that's when I was like, whoa, that's, no. And that's where he's going off on a lot of his videos. So technically this video is just it's a primer on how to objectively evaluate a game and review it. We all have our feelings, we all have our emotions, we all have our preferences. That makes it good, that makes us human. It helps make our world a less dull place because we have a different variety of stuff we can like. And number two, when it comes to game theorizing, we need to use the lore and physics and science of that world. Even though they may have humans and materials and things that are in common, but if it's a fantasy world, we have to go by fantasy world logic. We cannot go by our world logic and implement a theory about that. We cannot do that. So, I hope you liked this video, and I'll be making future Zelda videos later, but this is Hero of Time 91, and I hope you have a nice day.